This is one of the most exciting cars to come out of Carland in the last little while. It's finally here, the Kia EV6. Got a little bit of information on this sheet. €50,000 after grants for the Earth version. This is the GT line 54345, again after grants. So we're into high spec Skoda Enyaq money at this level. The door handles pop out. I mean, would it even be an EV of this era if that didn't happen? Yes, I'm overly dressed for this review. I decided this car was so exciting I'd wear a suit today, and that never happens. So I'm going to jump into this car very, very soon and take it for a quick spin, because I'm actually going to be reviewing this car in more detail next week. So let's do a quick little walk around first of all. The front is very, very good looking. It's got a big wide nose on it that just kind of hits you. Big bright, crystal clear white LED lights, and as this car drives towards it, very, very imposing. The wheels on the GT line as standard are 20 inches. I think size-wise it's nearly like the Jaguar I-Pace. It's just obviously not as tall. And this version in black, with the black roof and the black glass and the black privacy glass, it looks very, very sleek. Don't you agree? It's kind of like a double spoiler with a bit in the middle. This huge, I don't think I've ever seen a rear brake as big as this. Goes right across and tells you that this is the new EV6 from Kia. I mean, it's a brand that was getting really good looking over the last few years and had a kind of a prestige and luxury finish to it, and it has to for that price. I think it does. It's so futuristic looking. These weird kind of grooves that go on the sides of the car. You want to charge it, you push this bad boy and it opens. Your Type 2 cabling is here. You can also put charge back into other things, electric bikes, maybe even a lesser electric car, if you spec a little bit of gadgetry that plugs in here and then reconnects and sends the charge in the car that's surplus actually out again. I'm going to close that. Does it for you. It's nice. Kind of Tesla-like. Automatic boot release button is under here. That's going to get filthy. You have a flexible boot cover, which gives you a nice chunk of space. We'll get into official figures on the full in-depth review. Under here is a false floor, and then down here again is a tire mobility kit, but somewhere that you could probably fit your cables. There's little levers for dropping the seats as well. I can't get it to do it to the 70 side, but it does work for the other side. There's a handle there if you do want to close the boot yourself, but you're not going to because you have that electric boot release, so why would you need to? I think these headrests, they're kind of unusual looking with the backs of the seats. There's loads of gadgetry on the screens here, but you still have touch screens, sort of. They're not physical buttons, but they're there. The shortcuts to your heated seats and your heated steering wheel here. Just a little jog wheel for controlling reverse, neutral and park. And you just start it with a little button here. This center console thing does not adjust like the Ioniq 5. It also feels like you're in a nightclub inside here because everything's purple and bright. It's just missing a cloakroom. It's pretty special. I like the steering wheel. It's big, it's bold. It tells you you're behind the Kia, and I'm okay with that. You've got more buttons for all your controls here. Two massive widescreens that just kind of make the cabin feel like someone's going to get into your car. When they ask you how much it costs, if they're nosy and you tell them, I don't think you'd be embarrassed to say it. Get the GT line, you're going to get this really nice glass roof. It doesn't cut into the back, which affords you more headspace, and I'll go through rear leg room and all that stuff when we're having a full in-depth. It's full of charging ports, USBs, USB-Cs. They've given you options for both. Well done on that, Kia. And so far, so good. I feel like it's premium. It's good quality plastics. Definitely better than something like the ID4, but there's quite a difference in price, particularly the more you spec it up, as there is for the Volkswagen. There's the driver only button to not waste energy pushing cold air or hot air into this side of the car if you don't need it. The standard spec on the GT line, 7-year warranty, blind spot collision avoidance, blind spot monitors, intelligent speed limit assist, the vehicle to load, the thing I was telling you about where you can charge other things, that's standard on the GT line. Lane follow assist is there. It's a decent spec list, and the 77.4 kilowatt hour battery that's usable, that's a big battery. That could potentially get you a range of up to 500 kilometers. It's going to be a very warm sunny day down big hills, but they claim it. Ultra fast charge, you can get to 80% in 18 minutes if you can find the right charger, that is. And even the Earth spec on the car still has, from what I can see, all that same safety equipment. It's got a heat pump as standard. It'll actually do a little bit more range than the GT line. It'll do 528 kilometers. Again, probably on a good day. All the ambient mood lighting, that stuff is on both versions of the car. It's a good package. Side mirrors dipping automatically in reverse. That's always a nice start. We're on 97% battery with a range of 457 kilometers. Right. Well, that's a good start. Also, I presume it has frontal collision avoidance when people approach your car like that. But anyway, it's also got warnings here to tell me that I need to take a break, or the last person who was driving the car needs to take a break. Got a heads-up display. It's kind of actually, wow, does it adjust itself? If you imagine putting on someone's glasses that aren't prescribed for you, that kind of has that look off the, it's like making me feel like I can't focus on properly. I don't know what that code is. Can I tailgate somebody out? Oh, yes I can. It's so bold. There's the second near miss of a car in as many seconds. What the crack? I mean, the steering is very, very light. Oh, that's very light. I like that steering wheel. You can't miss the fact that it's a Kia. Compared to the Ioniq 5, they just give you dots. This clearly says, hey, we're Kia. And there's a big drive mode underneath here, so sport. Wow. Okay, that's a bit lively. Eco mode, does that increase the range? It does, yeah. So eco mode is 470 kilometers at 97, whatever it was. Normal is 456 and sport is 442. Jeez, that moves. Yeah, it's a nice bit of urgency to the car. So although they're not physical buttons, they're behind a screen. Yeah, see, that just works. Search an area, Blanchardstown, Lucan. Do I want to go to Lucan? Do I want to go to Blanchardstown? So many dilemmas in life. EV charging stations, can I find them? Also, I don't feel like my air is on. Aha, it is now. That's very nice. Where's that road go to? Okay, straight road, boot down. Yes. That's good. Over a bump there. Nice. So these are proper now twisty B roads. And I'm not gonna brake. Keep the foot to the floor. Well, relatively to the floor. It's very, very smooth. And these are nice condition roads. A little bit of imperfections. You do feel it through the car in terms of feedback, but it's not overly harsh. Regen is on level 3. Is there more to go on that? There's max, yes. What's max like? Yeah, okay. That works. What's none like? Oh, the car just nicely coasts along with that, but if you don't use the brake there, level 2. I think probably level 2 is the one. Whoa, the lane assist there is quite eager. That's quite strong. It's tucking you in nicely. Outside world, I can't hear much of it. You know, it's a windy day, cruising at 65 kilometers an hour. Should be a bit of noise, but I'm not hearing it. And this, again, is sitting on the biggest alloys. The tyres with the lowest bit of profile on them. And it's coping very, very well. I just think It's a bit more of an event behind the wheel of this. There's a bit more texture going on, there's a bit more colour going on, and it just feels altogether a little bit flashier than the Hyundai. It's like as if the Hyundai is just a bit more calm, doesn't need to shout about it. This is kind of shouting about it. Exterior design and interior design. I do like the fact there's a physical knob for the climate control. That bit is good. So fuel economy, we're doing 19 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. That is a bit high, but this car is getting driven all day today by many different people, different driving styles. You'd expect to be seeing sort of 15. And you know what? It copes with these kind of imperfection. It copes with these imperfect road conditions very well. Little squeeze at the throttle, and again, you blast down this country road. Handling is good. Proper bumps here now. Coping very, very well. Now look, subscribe if you haven't yet, because I will be doing an in-depth review of this car. I just wanted to get a feel for how it drives. And also, there's no point in me doing the full review today, because I need you to come back to watch the next video. I'm getting the heads-up display to tell me what directions, what turns I need to take to get to my destination. I like that too. Is there a quick way of moving that heads-up display? I'm sure it's in the settings somewhere, of which there are many, 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 many. It feels like a wide car, and on the way to the hotel today, I drove past a few of these cars and it was like, whoa, they really are wide in the flesh. I don't think the justice is not served from photographs. It's a big, big car. Big, big takeaway has to be how composed it is over roads that are a bit patched together, that have bits of tarmac that have been stuck on over the years, and there's a few potholes, and just the finish in the road is very, very different at any given second. And the bigger wheels, like, they are firm, but not uncomfortable firm. It feels acceptable firm. It feels like, okay, I've gone with the bigger alloys. I knew what I was getting into, but it's very, very tolerable. This is not as harsh as the Model Y, but as a more comfortable car to ride in, this probably is. Obviously, the punch of the Tesla in a straight line, you can't compete with that. It's just so fast. Kia, your sat-nav is fantastic to use. Easy to search for things as you're on the move, which is always good. And nobody got lost, which is always a welcome bonus. So thank you for sticking with me on this very early first look at the EV6 from Kia. Much hyped car. Worth the hype? I think so. I think so. I'm impressed. A fantastic car. A hefty price tag, not beyond what we were all probably expecting. It's such a great time now to be looking for an EV for next year, because there's some serious good stuff on the market. Once you get past 50 or just even below 50, you start to lose compromises. You get super fast charging, you get these good looks, you get a good interior, and something that actually looks a bit impressive on the road. Cars today, they look so alike in so many ways, and I think Kia have been brave here with the design. They're not going to alienate anybody. I think to look at this car in the flesh and not go, wow, that's a bit cool looking. Even if it does kind of remind me of the first generation Leaf, just over the rear quarter. But that aside, it's good. Very, very good. Thanks for watching.